Good evening, Gator Nation. Welcome to another episode of Glenwood Football Coaches Show here at Mike and Ed's Barbecue, Crawford Road in Phoenix City, Alabama. We want to thank Richard and Thrift with Georgia Alabama Sports Live for giving us the opportunity to be here. I'm Wes Hargrove, here with our head coach, Ryan Nelson. Ryan, big week. We got through homecoming. We survived, and we're back here to do another gig, man.
Yeah, what a great night to be down here at Chase's place again at Mike and Ed's. And, it always, when you get to the red light right there, you can smell the Boston butts, and, you smell the butts from miles. So thank them so much, him and Abby and their family, for having us down here for another beautiful Monday. Packed house in here. Got a lot of barbecue being sold. And Coach JJ over there, eating hot wings tonight. So they smell good and look good, too. So, but yes, Wes, very thankful to have a great homecoming 2023 for our seniors and for our school and the alumni, and come out and get the victory and move to 6-0 and 4-0 in the region, man.
6-0.
That's right.
So far, so good. Coach, you've always made really clear that we don't change the process.
That's right.
The process stays the same every week. We had a couple curveballs this week just with homecoming coming around.
I would definitely say that.
The structure was a little altered here and there, but I feel like, the kids and the coaching staff were able to respond to it and still give a great product Friday night.
That's right.
Just kind of tell us about your week from the coaches world and how you kind of had to adapt and overcome.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, I want to say, our school does such a great job outside of football with homecoming, where we have all these great dress-up days, and my daughter was very involved with them too at 5, and
she was winning.
And Molly takes care of all that and does a great job with her on that kind of stuff. But so you have all that you get to experience through the school, and then Friday for me, this is the second year I've got to experience the parade, or what they call the motorcade. Is really something special that Glenwood does for the students. And we started at downtown Piggly Wiggly on 13th Street, and you go all the way up Somerville Road, and everybody's got their trucks and cars lined up, and their floats, or whatever you want to call it, with the music pumping, and kind of my style.
That's right.
I like it. So,
that's right.
But it's fun. Then they get to the parking lot, and they get to go around the school, and so it's a very special event, and one that I'm very, very proud that I've been able to be a part of the last 2 years, and especially my daughter's been in. She's had so much fun with that. So that is awesome. And then the pep rally. Shout out to Coach Hutchinson and her staff and her cheerleaders. They had another great pep rally, which
it was awesome.
Yeah, back to back, and the coaches got to get out there and dance a little bit. And
I don't know if what we did was dancing or not. It may have just.
So I'm not a big dancer and get involved in a lot of stuff like that, but it's always funny to watch you guys get out there. And Wes, you was out there doing your thing, so that was fun to see. And but you're right, from a football standpoint, it's a lot going on, and like we always talk about, I don't want to change our process, our culture, what we do on a weekly basis, but there's some things you can't control. And we had the Powder Puff game out there on Thursday afternoon, so that kind of limited us what we could do on Thursdays. But you move on, and because the girls had a great job with that. And I tell you what, Wes, there's some girls at our school that next spring I hope they come out for football, because I think they can help us.
I'm here to tell you.
I'll tell you. I saw them with my own eyes out there Thursday, and them girls out there getting after it, and they play with a lot of passion.
You wouldn't believe how aggressive.
Man, they play with a lot of passion.
It's just awesome.
But that was a good thing, and so the whole school kind of helped come and support that, and it was a great ball game. So. And then we got to the game, and I knew, with homecoming and distraction with that, and then coming off a bye week, you set up for kind of a little bit of sloppiness going into the game. So not saying that we played extremely sloppy early, but it wasn't what I wanted to see from a standpoint of just a speed factor. I thought at times, on both sides of the ball, our kids kind of looked like we're stuck in the mud a little bit in concrete. And so that's one thing we had to get back to yesterday and today is kind of getting our legs back up under us and playing at a high level, playing fast, and that's what I want to see us do this week. So, but I can't say enough about our offense coming out in the first half. I think we scored every time we had it, except for the last one right before the half, and Montroy missed about a 40-yard field goal. So I wasn't really pleased with the last drive for the half. Defensively, we didn't play bad. We kind of gave up a big ball over the top over there. Which they had a 6'3", 6'4" receiver over there that went up and jumped ball and made a big play. But just kind of overall not up to my par or my standard of what I want to see us come out and where I want to see us play. But again, we got through it. I told the team and the coaches on Sunday we're 6-0, 4-0, and that's really all that matters.
Well, Coach, that's one thing that I love about you and your personality is you require a high level, high intensity pace. and you're not satisfied if the kids aren't coming and giving you that product out the gate. And I think that's what's going to help us to continue to be strong as the season goes on. So the pep rally ended. You know, we tried to get kids all good and dialed in. They had them a good meal, and you know, pregame festivities went on. We had the DJ down there bumping. The kids were getting into it, and we come out in the field, and the opening kickoff happens, and you know, we start playing our homecoming game. Dallas Crow had another good game. Carter Judah had a good one. Just talk about kind of what you saw from kids, statistic-wise.
So you mentioned Dallas. I think he was 12 of 13 for 214 yards with 4 touchdowns. I think he had around another 50 rushing with another touchdown. So played really well for us, and only played the first half. Played one drive in the third quarter. Thought Carter Judah, again, had another spectacular game. Had right at 85 yards rushing and a touchdown. Had some really, really strong runs in there. Braden Gooden had a good game for us. Had 5 or 6 catches with a touchdown. Camden White had another good game for us. So Cal Lawrence caught a touchdown. Eli Bankston had a few catches. Mason had a few catches. So, just trying to, take the ball and distribute it to a lot of people offensively, and hopefully we can continue to do that, and those guys continue to make plays. And but very, like I said, very happy with us. Especially on the perimeter of the night, and just throwing and catching and being able to move the ball through the air. And but defensively, not that it was bad. We got a couple guys out with injuries right now. It's just we've got to take our level to a different level. And I ain't saying that just defensively. That's our whole football team. And sometimes when you get off a bye week and you kind of get a little rusty from a standpoint because of the game speed is not there. You try to simulate all you can in practice, but it's just not there. So I've been a part of that my whole career. And, the worst thing, I'll tell people all this, back, 2 years ago, we had COVID. We had to take 2.5 weeks off and try to come back and play from that. Very tough in football. So bye weeks happen, and, so hopefully we can kind of get this one past us, and we get back to work. We're back to work at it today, and it was a little hot out there today, but it was good for the kids. We lined up and did a lot more team stuff, 11-on-11 stuff. So hopefully that's going to transition this week into to us playing at a higher level and getting back to who we were, 3 weeks ago.
Well, a good thing about coming in at halftime, with a good lead, especially at homecoming, is you really get to see a lot of your depth come in. You get to see a lot of your 2s, some of your 3s get out there and play. And just talk to us about the mindset those kids came in, who you thought maybe stood out, and how the future looks.
Well, first and foremost, I want to say, during the bye week, we kind of, it's the halfway point through our season, so I always like to really break our roster down and see what guys have really, went up, and some guys stay the same and some guys go down. So, and the guys that go up, usually the younger guys, I want to start getting those guys on the field and give them opportunities to make plays. If you make plays in practice, you deserve to get out there and get your chance in the game. I really believe in that, and I believe in playing a lot of people, and that's how you build depth. But, we had some guys like, to run down on our kickoff team that was really a whole new unit. Our kickoff return team was kind of a whole new unit. So I want to get those guys out there, let them get a chance to go play on some special teams and see what they can do. And, one guy that really stood out to me was Cade Cox.
Yeah, Cade had a good one.
The kid's getting a lot better. He's a baseball guy that came out this summer. He's starting to, fill his body out a little bit. He's getting stronger in the weight room. And there's been several weeks this year in practice where he's, went against our ones and made plays on top of what we consider our top guys. And so he's going to continue to get his opportunities. Boudreaux, Andrew Wilkerson was out there as a true freshman, the inside linebacker, who played a lot of, good snaps for us in the first half. And he's learning, and, the sky's the future for him. And he's got to continue to gain some weight and things like that. But he really has a knack for the ball, really tackles well. So he'll keep on getting some opportunities in there. Ash Davidson is another guy that played inside linebacker for us, with Trent being out. And did play pretty well at times also. So just trying to get some more guys, the ability to get in, to build some depth. And then, like you said, kind of the other guys that kind of got in the second half that really stood out to me was, especially offensively, was Trey Clarity and Josiah Clark. And
what a team they are.
Yep, and Trey's our freshman quarterback, and Josiah's our freshman running back. But Trey's very mature beyond his age. And, kind of reminds me of a mindset. I coached a guy named Jonathan Wallace, probably 15 years ago. But he's kind of the same mindset, just very mature, young kid. He's about his business. He comes to work every single day, and he wants to get better in practice, and that's what it takes. And Josiah's really learning. He's learned a lot the first 2 months of the year. And I think anybody that's seen him run the ball for us this year can tell he's got a lot of speed and brings a lot of speed to our program. So he'll continue to get some touches, and he'll continue to grow. And hopefully, here in another month, he's not that freshman anymore, and he's progressed, and he's ready to get on the field and help us out. So very happy with them. And then, some of our other young guys out there defensively, some of the D linemen and linebackers and stuff like that. Glad to see them get out there and play. And so just overall, Wes, just a great homecoming. We did what we wanted to do, and that's come in and win the football game. At times, it wasn't the prettiest game we've had all year, but I would take an ugly win any day of the week.
That's
and
right.
We're 6-0, and we've most importantly 4-0 in the region. So we're coming down. We got 3 region games left, and if we can find a way to win 2 out of the next 3 region games, we'll clinch the region championship, and we'll have the 1 seed going into the playoffs with the bye. So what else can you ask for from a program standpoint? But we're not going to look ahead. We're going to continue to take this 1 game at a time, and our goal is to go undefeated. And every time we line up and play, we want to win, and we prepare to win. We practice to win. We put the work in, and we were up at the school again at 7 o'clock this morning, working out, and so be back up there in the morning at 7 o'clock, working out, doing walkthroughs. So the kids are really, putting the work in. We're doing everything we can and trying to do the right things just to be 1-0 every single week.
Coach, I thought it was a great week. It's always fun when we get a bunch of alumni back in the swamp.
For sure.
Get after it and put on a good show for everybody. Guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have Max Ross and Cannon Boyd joining us, a couple of our senior studs here at Glenwood. So you're watching the Glenwood Football Coaches Show here at Mike and Ed's Barbecue on Crawford Road here in Phoenix City, Alabama. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Gator Nation. You're watching the Glenwood Football Coaches Show here at Mike and Ed's Barbecue, Crawford Road here in Phoenix City, Alabama. Special thank you to Chase and Abby Cook for opening up your place to us every week to come in here and talk Gator football. Coach, we got 2 guys joining us right now. Why don't you go ahead and introduce who we got?
We got beside me right here, number 67, Max Ross, plays nose guard for us, D-line. And then we got number 17, Cannon Boyd, who plays outside linebacker and safety for us, both seniors.
Well, guys, this was a big week. Homecoming, every day's got something going on. And coming off a bye week, we took a whole bucket of distractions and just poured them all over you guys. And obviously the finished product seemed to come out okay. But talk to me as a student athlete, how are you able to overcome some of these distractions and still be able to maintain your schoolwork and be ready to play on Friday night?
Well, even though I'm new to the school, it's easy to get caught up in the festivities that are happening. And you have a lot of tests going on, and a lot of people are trying to do things. But whenever I get to practice or whenever we had to go out to the field, I just try to think about cutting all of that stuff out and worrying about it later and just doing what I have to do so I'm able to play Friday.
I like it.
Like Max said, Coach was really honest about staying focused and everything like that. And once we got to practice, we all just sort of locked in as a team and were able to finish the goal.
Well, Coach, this is one of my favorite moments of this show every week is getting to watch you brag on some of your guys here, and I just think it's awesome they get a chance to get some exposure. And we want to credit that to Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Appreciate everything you guys do for these kids.
That's right.
Coach, go ahead with it.
Well, first I'll talk about Mr. Boyd down there at the end. He's been at Glenwood for 3 years, so he's been in both years when I've been here. And, last year really took it to a different level from my standpoint. Bought into the weight room in the off season, really came in there and worked his tail off and gave his body a chance and mentally just a chance to get on the field and play for us this year. Kind of had a position change where he was playing kind of in the box for us last year at outside linebacker, inside linebacker. Went to play safety for us, and it's been a good transition for him. Again, he's a tremendous hard worker, comes from a great family, and just, very excited about, he's kind of like our utility guy. And every football team needs one. He plays safety, he can play outside backer for us, but most importantly, what he does is he's a big special team guy for us. You see Cannon on about every special team we got, so he's very valuable to our football team. And I just hope he continues to grow and he can keep on continuing to make plays on Friday night for us. And then we got Mr. Max right here, Mr. Ross, that's coming from us from Monroeville, Alabama. So he was actually at Monroe Academy last year. Him and his brother moved up, Carter, this year with their dad. And, ever since I met him and his brother and his dad, it's been a very, very, very great relationship with those three. And, very excited. One thing I'll tell you about Max, when he first got in here in the summer, it was different for him. And I think the level of work went up a little bit from his previous school. And just the way we go about our business and stuff. So, but one thing really stood out to me was he come in as a bigger guy. And it was really hot this summer. He's kind of out of shape a little bit, and practice is kind of getting on him a little bit. And, we took the week of the 4th off. Well, Max told me the week before, Coach, I want to be up here on a lift while we off and run and stuff, and try to get in some better shape. But every single day we was off up there, July 4th, he took it upon himself to really, really get his body in shape. And we got back, really started playing at a higher level, and then very impressed with what he's done for us early in the year. We've had some packages built in to bring him in the game, along with him and Wes, and they kind of play in the same position at times. They're both on the field, so very impressed with him. Also his brother, Carter. Both of them are been starting for us this year, so glad to have them be a part of the family. I think it's been a good transition for them. I know it's been tough for them at times with their mom still being in Monroeville and things like that. So, but just very happy and blessed to have him and his brother and their family a part of our program. And like I said about Boyd, just hopefully continue to progress and keep on making plays for the rest of the year.
Well, Ken, you got to experience this a few weeks back when we went to Bessemer. It was kind of you're from there. It's kind of a little bit of a homecoming for you, but you've been removed for a couple years, and this week, Max, you just left there. We're going back there next year. So just talk about what kind of mindset you have when we went to Bessemer and you were able to go back and play against the dudes you grew up with. And Max, same thing, it's just more recent.
Man, I was excited, to say the least, but I just really wanted to kick their butts, honestly. 'Cause like you said, I grew up with them. I know them all like family, and that was a goal, and I'd say we beat that goal.
Well, I grew up with a lot of these guys, known them my whole life, and been playing football with them for about 10 years now. So it is kind of hard to play against them, but I think the goal is to get a state championship, and I don't see that happening if we can't beat MA.
All right. We got to take care of business.
That's
We're
right.
going to hit the
I like the
road.
mentality, baby.
We're going to hit the road Friday night. It's a long little road trip there, and we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to dive into Friday night's game against Monroeville. Welcome back to the Glenwood Football Coaches Show here at Mike and Ed's Barbecue on Crawford Road in Phoenix City, Alabama. Here with Coach Ryan Nelson. Coach, 6-0. We're going to get on the buses and we're going to head. I'm not really positive where Monroeville is actually on the map, but we're going that way.
We're going south.
They'll know. They got GPS. They'll tell us how to get there. But we're going to load up. We got about a 3-hour drive Friday night to go and play a pretty stout team. I know they're big on the line. And why don't you tell us a little bit about what we can expect Friday night?
Yeah, like you said, they are. They're tremendous, size-wise up front offensively. Very physical bunch. You're going to come to the game, and they're going to pack it in the phone booth. You'll see 11 guys around the ball. It's going to be completely transition opposite of what we do offensively. But they do a good job of being physical, do a good job running the football. And they've had some tough losses. They've also had a few good wins. So we're going to have to really be ready to play up front on both sides of the ball, and which is something that we kind of put our hands on Friday night after the game, that we got to do a better job, on both sides of the ball of really controlling the line of scrimmage and get back to, kind of where we was the first 3 ball games of the year. And so hopefully, our big guys will accept the challenge, and we can come out and, be able to control the line of scrimmage, control what they do, and just looking to go 1-0 and figuring out how to get another region win. And like you said, we're on the road. This is the third 3-hour trip we've had this year, so it's not a foreign language for us. But it is something where when we went to Fort Dale, we didn't handle it very well, and then we went to Bessemer and did a very good job of handling it. So we got to do exactly what we did when we went to Bessemer, and that's get off the bus, get out of the locker room, and come out in the first half and play at a high level.
Well, and you talked about we were a little sluggish Friday night. I mean, that's no breaking news for anybody that was there. And, I think that your kids typically respond well when you lay it out like, we've got to improve here and here and here. And, we're going to have a long bus ride, but the kids know what's at stake here.
That's right.
I mean, we got a chance. We're going for a region title here.
Right, for sure.
I believe, Coach, you told me that there's only been 3.
That's right. And I don't know if I want to get my years actually correct, but I want to say 1989, 2001, and 2020 are the only 3 region championships that's ever been accomplished in football at Glenwood High School, along with the 3 state championships in 78, 91, and 92. So don't hold me all the way to that, but I'm almost 95% sure that's right.
Well, if there's a statistician keyboard warrior, he's already corrected you, so you don't have to worry about that.
Just trying to do something, Wes, that, that's what I tell the kids on Sunday. We're trying to do something that hadn't been done a lot at this school, and we've got an opportunity to break some records and do something great. So why not, kind of grab the bull by the horns and let's just go do it. And we put ourselves in that position. Obviously, forget the first 2 ball games, beating 2 really good teams, but region-wise, we're 4-0 right now, and we got 3 left. So we've put it kind of ourselves where we need to be at, and but we got to continue to play at a high level. We got to continue to do the small things right, and you can't take anybody for granted. And especially going on the road 3 hours away. So I told our kids Sunday, this is a Super Bowl for me, and because it's the next game. And I'm one of these coaches that. A lot of people, or if you're in our building, say I'm hard on the kids a lot and things like that. It's not that I'm hard on them, which I am at times, but I have a lot of passion for our kids. I have a lot of passion for our program, and we've put a lot of work into this thing since last January, and then kind of, our whole team got together in June once the baseball players got back in there. We put a lot of work and time and effort in this thing, and so you don't want to get in the middle of the year or get to the end of the year and just all the hard work that we put into it just nosedive and don't get nothing out of it. So I'm constantly challenging our coaches, constantly challenging our kids to continue to work and continue to know football is a long marathon, not a quick race.
Well, I know how you can handle this. You're a grown up. You've been coaching for a long time. Your second year as a head coach, and these kids, they know what's going on. They know where we are. We're 6-0. We got a chance to win a region, and I know you aren't going to look ahead, but how do we go about keeping the kids level now and manage the expectations on a week-to-week basis?
I think the easiest thing is you hit the nail on the head earlier is our process. I mean, because anybody that will tell you about what we do week to week is okay. It ain't that we have a big game this week that we got to prepare a different way. It ain't that we're playing somebody that we don't think is that big of a game, so we prepare different. We don't. We do the same thing every single week. We don't make this game any more higher than this game. So when you do that and you stay level and you can go out there and prepare the same way each and every week, it's almost like 10 weeks of repetitive doing the same thing over and over. And I've had very successful coaches, not only in high school but college coaches, tell me plenty of times the way you win championships is do what you did on day one install. And you do the small things and you do the things that you're really good at. That's how you win championships. It ain't about creating new plays or new defenses or things like that. You got to get good at who you are and what you do, and you got to go out there and make people stop you on both sides of the ball. And when kids play fast and play at a high level, that's when you win championships.
So I love the way that we're doing that, and every week's the same. I made the mistake last week of asking how the process would be different, and Coach corrected me politely that nothing changes. So how do you keep a young group of kids not focused, but how do you keep them from maybe getting bored with the process? What is it that you're bringing in? Intensity, different people coming and speaking?
That was one thing we really talked about on Sunday, was talking about the grind of football and how it is easy to get bored with doing the same things over and over and over. But you also, when you flip it and tell the kids and they look at it like, this is game 7. So guys, I mean, it's October 1 when we met on Sunday. You're going to look up and it's going to be November 1, and then we're going to be in the playoffs. And the regular season's over with.
That's right.
So you don't get this time back. I tell every football team, especially the seniors, you got to cherish these weeks and these moments together. And, you know, we're going to be sitting here next week, and then we're going to be on to the 8th game. Then a week after that, the 9th game. So it happens fast. And you always look up in August. It's the hypeness of the start of the year. And then it gets to the midway point, and then it starts getting to the end of the season, then the playoffs start. So, you know, being a coach for so long, you understand the process and how it goes. But, again, it's just more about us getting in here and working every week and trying to outwork. And don't worry about your opponents. Don't worry about, you know, what the future holds. Just trying to win the day and win the moment. And I think, you know, you outwork people in October, and, you know, that's when you know we can show up in November and when the playoffs get here, because, you know, high school football is a lot like NFL playoffs. It's a one-game deal.
That's right.
You know, and that's what it is. And if you have a bad night that night, and it's just like I still think about in 2002, my senior year in the quarterfinals, we were a dynamic football team, and we had a bad night, and the season's over with. And you cannot. I'm 38 years old right now. I can't go back and redo it.
You don't
Ain't
get a
nothing
redo.
You do. You don't. Not in high school football. So it ain't like baseball where you play a 2 out of 3, or, you know, some other like college football where you can lose a game or two and still have a chance. So it's a little different format. You got to understand the format going in. But then again, you know, I always look at, you know, where we can get to, where are we trying to go, and if we don't work right now, and if we're not peaking at the right moment, then we're not going to win big how I want us to win here this year.
Well, I think you've got us well in line to accomplish that goal and to get that way. And so I don't really have like a rapid fire type segment for you, Coach, but what I want to do is ask you a question that you have no idea is coming. Just a little bit of raw time
Go
here with
for it.
Wes Hargrove. But so it's your second year here, second season as a head football coach. And Glenwood is completely different from everywhere else that you've been.
That's right.
But I want you to just talk for a minute about the support that you've gotten from leadership and administration at Glenwood, how that's helped you transition into being a successful head coach.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head with that. I can't thank Jim Davidson enough, all he's done for not only me, but my family and for our football program. And, you know, Mr. Davidson is wonderful. He allows me to do my job every single day. He doesn't kind of really question what we're doing. You know, he wants to be in the loop and all that kind of stuff, like any administration would. But he's very supportive of our players, very supportive of our coaches. And the one thing I really love about Mr. Davidson is it's always the question asked me, what can I do to help you get better, or what can I do to help this program get better? Mm-hmm. So I know he's all in. He's got our back. He wants to see us be successful. And so it's always easy working for a guy like him. And, you know, Dr. Graham also, I know she's more of the lower school, but she does so much for us on game days and the press box and things like that. So I want to thank her also for all she does for our football team and our players and all that. And then I can't thank Coach Fannin enough, our AD, and just all he does for me and helping me, you know, with our maintenance and our field and all that kind of stuff, and making sure we got everything we need from that standpoint. And just the support of Glenwood Gator Nation. And that's the one thing that I've really enjoyed coming here, being my second year, is, you know, they accepted me, accepted my family. They accepted kind of our culture of what we're trying to instill in these kids, the hard work, the discipline, the small things. And, you know, one big thing for me is accountability. And that's really one thing when I got here that I didn't feel like that this place was up to par. What I thought it should be was accountability of all the kids, of where they're at, how they're supposed to be on time, the work they're putting in. So, you know, people has backed me up on that sense. And but it's all love, man. And, you know, these kids know I love them. And they love us and love the coaches. And it's really a genuine family thing at Glenwood. And that's one thing that, you know, anywhere I'm at, I'm trying to bring that family, because I just really feel like when you play together and you're all together and there's not distractions in home and things like that, you got a way better chance to be successful on Friday night. So, again, I can't thank the Glenwood Gator Nation, the fans, and the administration and everybody just for accepting us and buying into what we're trying to build over here. And hopefully this ain't just the start. Hopefully this thing's fixing to keep on taking off, and we're going to take it to a whole different level every year.
Glenwood is a special place. So obviously, it's very dear to my heart. I think the world of it. There's no place like it. But the fans are going to support you. When you go 3 hours away on Friday night and you look up, it's going to be orange all
That's
over
right.
in those stands. They love to come out and watch us. And guys, I hope that you can get in the car and make the long drive Friday night. Come out and watch the Gators kick off at 8 o'clock Eastern time, playing Monroe Academy, region game. We're just trying to go 1-0 for the week,
right.
Coach. That's
That's
what
right.
you tell me every week.
That's
So,
right. Find a way to win this Friday, whatever it takes.
That's it. Guys, thank you for joining us tonight. Go Gators, and we'll see you Friday night.
Go Gators.